The following show is intended for an adult audience. We may use explicit language or discuss mature themes. Monkey Boy may react strongly, such as screaming if he encounters a spider. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello, everyone.
So I've got a bit of a pain in the neck tonight. How
You
are
are
you,
a pain
Monkey
in the
Boy?
neck.
Oh, cheers,
I'm
mate.
all right.
That's love.
I'm good.
You're good.
good.
I'm really
good.
excited for this evening because this evening's ever so slightly different to the last two episodes because, I mean, we're real seasoned vets
is
at
it?
this now.
Is it
Did you
different
forget?
tonight?
Did you forget?
Why is it different? What have I forgotten? Have I missed something? What's different? What's different about tonight?
Even I can't remember. We've got a guest. We've got a guest.
Have we? Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, we.
I'm looking forward to that. Do I know who it is?
I mean, you might know who it is. I think everyone in the chat will know who it is.
Ooh.
I'll give you a hint. I had the best roast beef dinner with him ever.
Oh, Emilio Estevez.
No, that was the second best roast dinner I ever had with anyone. Emilio Estevez was a clear second. The beef was slightly overdone with Emilio Estevez's, but the company kind of compensated.
Yeah.
But before I bring the secret guest in, do you think I should maybe go through the chat, see who's in? Because I think there's a few people in already.
Let's say hello.
Shall we do that?
Let's say hello.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's have a little look. Let's scroll to the top of the chat and see where we're at. So, right. Hello to Action Pop. Oh, that's me. Oh,
That's
silly
you, that is.
me. That's me. That's me. I see what I did
what
there.
What are you like?
Trying to
What are
make
you
up
like?
numbers. I know. I'm a silly Billy. We have Travels and More with Jason. Hi.
Jason,
I had a
good evening.
excellent time meeting Jason last week. At the start of the weekend, he seemed very much like, don't touch me with your sweaty hugs. By the end of the weekend, he submitted to me. But not in a weird way, but it was fun. They were good hugs. We have a very handsome man indeed, a man who I was very chuffed to meet last weekend. We have Chris Meanwhile from Chasing 80s Toys. What a guy.
Hello, Chris. Thanks for joining us, man. Hello, dude.
It is impossible for Chris to take a bad picture. He literally cannot ever be stood in a bad light or have a bad angle. He is perfect. He is perfection personified.
Oh.
I wish I was as photographic as Chris. I really do. Who else have we got? And we've got Reading Movies. Hello, Reading Movies. I hope
Good
you're
evening,
having
Lewis.
a good
Thank you
evening.
for joining us.
Excellent,
Thank you.
excellent to see you. We have,
see you, man.
We have Vader's girl.
Then
Hello,
you
Cat.
will die.
Yeah, she's yeah, Vader's girl. How do we go with that? Nice to see you, Cat. We
thank you
have
for
Baz
joining us.
Dark Lycan. Hello, Baz. Good
Hello,
to
Baz.
see you, mate.
Hey, man.
Good to see you, bud. Good to see you on Cat's puzzle stream the other night. Great to have a little catch up with you. We have the one who doesn't like the green uns because they'll make you badly. Victoria Squires. Victoria Squires. Hello, Vic.
She's gonna make us badly.
She's gonna make us badly. We have the beautiful man himself, Mr. Scuba Pete. Excellent to
Hello,
spend
Scuba.
last weekend with you and the lovely Leslie. That was absolutely awesome. We have Rolando Flores. Hello, Rolando. How are you?
Hey, man.
The next person we have the lovely Kim Gonick, one half of the Action Popcast. So
Good
I
evening,
felt we
Kim.
failed her last week with our soundbite. So I went back to the voice artist himself and he sent me, I haven't listened yet, but Kim, here's your new soundbite.
Kim, those idiots sensed you did not like the last soundbite. Here is another attempt, but frankly, with a budget of 69 pence, this is as good as it gets. I am going back to sex work now. At least it pays.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. I told you to pay him. Sorry, Kim. Well,
Yeah, I forgot. Sorry, man.
we've tried twice now and failed miserably. Wow. But we have Delvian Seek. Hello, Delvian. How are you?
Seek and destroy.
Seek and destroy. We have Tree Theodore. We have...
Hello, Tree.
Oh, who else do we have? Oh no, we have Ben Stutley. Hello, Ben. How are you, sir? Hope you're having a great evening.
Good evening, Ben.
Always good to see Ben. Oh!
Wishing us luck. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ben.
The sexiest Irish man of all, Connor Fuller from Fuller's Figures. It was great to hang out with Connor last week. And I think we're sort of toward the end of the Rogues Gallery now. As other people pop in, I will say hello. So, he's
suggesting that we look like washed up gladiators, but I mean, I would take that. I
wouldn't mind being a washed up gladiator. I'd take that. I'd take that every day of the week. Oh dear! But just before I bring in, these two are useless. Look, we paid the guy. We hoped for better. He's obviously let us down. We did our best. What can you say?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I would have thought 69 pence would have got us more than that, but there we are.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping for more. It was double what we paid him last time.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I feel it's kind of wrong to keep anyone waiting in the wings for too long, especially a man who is a pleasure to eat roast beef with. So this evening, we have a guest, a special guest. We have an added 33.33333% VTR. Yes, that's right. VTR, Vintage Toy Rush. Dave, the man, the legend. Yes, stop saying no, I'm going to bring him on now. Do not fanboy him. Do not freak out. VTR Dave!
Good evening, chat.
Oh my God, Dave! Oh my God! I love you so much, man. I think you're brilliant.
Yes, we have Dave. Hello, sir. Hello.
Good evening, chaps. Good evening. How are you doing?
We're good. Sorry we kept you waiting in the wings so long.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Thanks so much for coming on. Thank you, man.
Yeah, what a lovely. You've got a great bunch of people in the chat. What a lovely bunch of people.
Oh, I've just got to say hello to this person because they're very important, especially to yourself. DCB June is in the house. So that's not her comment. That's Rolando's comment saying hello to DCB June. But we do have DCB June in the house.
I have to say hello to DCB June.
Good evening.
I'm under contract too.
Yes, you are. DCB June, those licorice salted sweets are the best thing ever. I need those in my life on a regular basis. I'm just saying, I've never... They're like the Marmite of sweets. But actually, I don't even think it's 50-50. I think most people hated them, but me and Mr. Fuller just absolutely loved them. So,
I think 5%, maybe 5% of the people love those salted licorice. I am one. Well, I'm part of the 85%. No, sorry, 95% who can't stand them. No, I had no idea that those were going into the packs, but.
So was June just getting rid of sweets from the house?
So DCB and Leslie were packing those sweets, and I said, "Don't put the salted ones in there. We're just gonna make everybody feel really ill." And then Leslie said, "No, let's have some fun." So they decided to put them in.
So for anyone who's not aware, who wasn't at NEC last week, DCB June very kindly handed out little gift bags to us all with sweets in, and they were from Sweden. Yes, they were absolutely amazing, and they were just great. And when I got back to the hotel room on the Sunday night, really drunk, you know, when you're really hungry when you're drunk, I decided to annihilate that whole bag of sweets. And I'm eating like the little prawn things, and I got this I was like, what's that? What is that? And then I found it out and I worked it out, and I was like, this is amazing. So they were great.
Now we know why you like them, because you were drunk. That's what it was.
No, you know, I'd still eat them again. I'm just going to say two more quick hellos, and then we're going to get to know you a little bit, VTR Dave, just before we go any further. So I feel we have to say hello to Manga Fandanga, Arsai. Thank you for popping along this evening. And we have Usual Mike Television. Hello, sir. Thank you. Oh, and well,
he's up nice
he's
and
just
early.
popped in. Adam, the real toy dude. He's a good-looking chap, is our Adam. I like him.
Oh.
So
there's too many good.
Thanks for joining us.
There's a lot of people here this evening. So Dave, we've obviously known each other for a while now. Whether you want to know me or not, unfortunately, I have been inflicted upon you. I sort of show up at these events and I message you until you finally respond and agree to come on videos with me.
Hey, no. Be fair. I think I said yes almost immediately.
Yeah, you did. You did. I'm just trying to sell it for comedic effect, but you're just killing me here, man. You're killing me here.
No, I'm very honoured to be. I believe the first guest. Am I the first guest on?
You were the first guest
on
Lame, yes, and you were my first person I ever did an Action Man video with.
That's right.
Because we compared the good, the bad, and the weird, which was fun. And you had love for the Intruder figure, whereas I think he should be. I don't think he should be destroyed. I think everyone should own one. I've got to explain, this Intruder figure is like a little dwarf. He kind of looks like me if you put me in a gold leotard, because he hugs.
He does, actually.
I love the image.
I am the Intruder. So,
I didn't realise I had a figure of APD in the collection, but it's true.
You do, and every time you look at him now, you're going to go, "That's APD."
I must say,
if you turned up at my stage.
If you turned up at my house in a gold leotard saying "I am the Intruder," I think I would be in fear of my life.
But that's kind of a really happy coincidence and a sort of link and a sort of segue into what we're going to be talking about tonight, because we are going to, of course, be talking about people who wore leotards. But just before we do that, everyone here knows VTR Dave, but there might be people listening on the Spotify version who don't know Dave. So Dave, do you want to tell us what you do and what your channel is briefly, or as long as you want? Look, there's no time limit on it. Just give us a little description of yourself. We like to do that. That's how we roll.
I guess I'm one of those channels that's part of the toy YouTube community. I focus on vintage toys, and my channel is pretty much just about fixing and restoring them, hunting for them, putting them in the display. Yeah, that's pretty much me. That's
epic. No, you do amazing content. Your restorations are top restorations. My missus, Pete's missus, they were chatting about your voice once, and they said he's got a really good YouTube voice. We like listening to him. We don't care what he's talking about, but he's got a good YouTube voice. You're very calming.
I think you've got the best voice. You have a smooth voice. I have a voice that puts people to sleep.
No, I think once people have been around me for 5 minutes, it becomes an annoying voice, a punch you in the face kind of voice, generally. Sorry, Monkeyboy, were you going to say something, buddy?
No, I mean, I think Nick has got a rich, buttery voice, but I know what you mean about Dave's voice. It's very soothing. Very soothing.
Although at the moment,
would be very
suffering.
good for audiobooks. Oh, are you
well,
under the weather? Did you pick up some of the lurgy that was going around NEC?
No, I haven't picked up the lurgy, but I think having just spent the last 2 weeks, some of that time with Scuba and Leslie, and then at the NEC, etc., with a few drinks, I think my voice is just, I don't know if you can just tell, it's a little croaky, but hey.
There's definitely a frog in mine as well. I mean, like I said the other day, I told Si we shouldn't all play spin the bottle, but he insisted, and so the bugs got spread around. But what happens at the NEC stays at the NEC. Monkeyboy, someone's offended Kim here. She said offended, and I'm meant to have the better voice. So
we should have a voice off. We could have a voice off at some point.
No, Kim does have Kim has a really good sort of professional voice. She records stuff for her work, and I've helped her edit some of it. And I'm like, wow, you sound really professional. Then you listen to me, and it's a bit you just dragged some idiot off the council estate and stuck a microphone in front of his face. This is what you get. But anyway, tonight, we must keep moving forward. We have to. It is essential. So tonight's subject is Gladiators, incredibly macho people. So, Gladiators, but we're not talking Russell Crowe Gladiator. We're not talking that film. We are talking the 90s Gladiators, 1990s ITV Gladiators, the spandex clad, super tight fitting muscle men and muscle women of the 90s used to beat the ever living crap out of tiny little competitors who wanted to verse them in a TV game.
And were probably responsible for several teenage boys beating the living crap out of themselves as well.
Well, I think they probably should have had a sponsorship deal with Kleenex. To be fair, I mean, I'm sure we are going to go over some controversies as we go on, but that wasn't some of the injuries I came across in the. I'm going to stop there because this is going to delve dark and deep. So yes, the Gladiators. So Monkey Boy, Dave, what do you remember about the Gladiators, if anything? It was a long time ago, the 90s. It was a very long time ago.
Oh, well, I do remember it was on a Saturday evening, right? For us, I do remember that.
Indeed.
And I think this is after. Yeah, this is after the time of. Was it after Baywatch or was it? I can't remember. There's a. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the Saturday evening schedule.
I think it was after Baywatch. Sort of the dads got it really good on a Saturday afternoon in the 90s. They got Baywatch, then they sort of got Gladiator, whereas the best the mums got was a bit of Morse and Heartbeat on a Sunday. So,
but yeah, I mean, what do you remember from the Gladiators? Well, obviously you remember the presenters. You remember Ulrika.
Oh yes.
The Gladiators themselves, of course, and because we all had our favourites, right? That was, if you went back to school and you talk about the Gladiators, and then you'd be talking about who your favourite was, and and I guess you who can forget the what was it called, was it the Travelator? What was it called?
The final round, the Eliminator.
Yeah, with the Travelator.
That was absolutely nuts. I've got a brief description of the Eliminator. We'll go through some of the other games. The Eliminator, the iconic final obstacle course where contestants raced against each other and the Gladiators to reach the finish line. Well, that's incorrect because the Gladiators never took part in the
Gladiators weren't in it.
That will teach you to read your notes when you compile them and you copy and clip stuff off of the internet. Yeah, I did that. Naughty me. But there you go. So, Monkey Boy, do you have fond memories of the Gladiators in the 90s? Other than the usual stuff, don't take it to the gutter.
Yeah, no, I do. I mean, I was quite into the show, I guess, when it was on. I don't remember much about it now, but I did certainly used to watch it quite avidly when it was on. Mainly, if I'm honest, for Jet. I just wanted to see Jet the whole time. She was a big draw.
Jet was the big draw, and sadly Jet got injured and had to retire due to really messing herself up.
Yeah,
and we will go into that.
Yeah, she did.
But I've just seen someone in the chat who I feel I need to say hello to. So sorry to just jump in on my special friend Emma C. We all know Emma C. Emma C actually came along to the NEC last week. She said hello to everyone, and she made me. She's like, please, she pleaded me. Can you stop showing that clip you show every time you do a stream about my special friend Emma? Because I really don't want you embarrassing me like that. And I thought, well, I have to take my friend's feelings into consideration here, to be perfectly honest. So I've changed it up this week.
So every episode of Lame, I always say, here's my special friend Emma. And on tonight's edition, I just want to say, hold the phone, you know you want to. Here's my special friend Emma, everyone say hi. Hello. Hi. She's so shy. Hello, Emma.
Because, So I kept to my word, and as you can see in that video, I definitely wasn't 4 or 5 pints deep at all. I was definitely completely sober there. But anyway, to distract there, I have also noticed in the comments that we have got G-Force Racing in. So hello, G. Thank you so much for popping along this evening.
G-Force.
So 90s Gladiators for myself. I mean, you're saying that you had your favourites. Was there any other bits you wanted to discuss before I talk about my little favourite things from the 90s of the Gladiators and give this show a little bit of direction and make it look like we've got a plan, so to speak?
I think some of the games were really good every week, and some of them were a little bit duff. Some of them, the ones I really didn't like, and you just wanted them to get through them. Like was it Hang Tough or Hanging Tough?
Oh, what a terrible game!
Gymnast rings. I mean, they were just swinging about like gibbons, weren't they? It wasn't really that good. And then on the other side of the coin, you had. Go on.
Sorry, no, seemed really boring, that game. Sorry, I just
No. I love that game.
Oh, okay.
you?
Yeah, I thought it was a cool game. I
Please,
don't know.
please tell us why. Please.
Ah.
Was there anything
Was it
particular?
the gibbon?
Maybe
Given
it was the
action?
game, yeah. I just liked that game. I don't know. I thought it was showed off their strength or whatever, and there was tactical as well. So I don't know. Maybe if it was 100 foot high,
Oh.
maybe you would have enjoyed
With
it.
spikes beneath them, like Roman times. Yeah, let's really up the ante on this game. I think for me though, so I'm going to bring in I have to say a massive thank you again to the lovely Kim Gonick, because she, as much as I'm mean to her and whatnot, she does always help out with the show, and she did help with preparing our slides for this evening. But it's probably worth giving a little bit of information about how Gladiators got to our screen if we're to try and resemble something that is organised this evening, because it's not going to be organised, but we're gonna pretend. So
Yeah, let's pretend.
And I also need to click the right button to bring the slide up, so that would help. There we go. So we have got some American cousins in the audience here this evening, and Gladiators, our version of Gladiators, was actually was inspired by this, and it's American Gladiators, which originally ran from 1989 to 1996. And as you can see, or no, not the Gladiators we know and recognise. Having looked into this, unfortunately, showing clips from TV shows is the quickest way to get your stream literally crashed, as I found out on YouTube. So the games were very similar. We did a straight up, we're going to have a bit of that and make it English. So that's how that's what inspired it. And of course, this kicked off our Gladiators, which was on ITV. So our Gladiators ran from 1992 till the year 2000. And I believe it had something like 13 TV series. It was nuts, and an ever evolving cast. So this really did catch the public's imagination. There were toy lines. Kids wanted to be gladiators, even to the point the other day that I watched one of the new Gladiator episodes, because it's just relaunched on the BBC, and there was a guy on it, an ex-military man or a serving soldier, one or the other, and it was his dream to compete on Gladiators, and he actually won the season. So a guy our age is fine, so it stuck with a lot of people. I don't know.
Did they have toys of the Gladiators?
Absolutely, yeah. But here's the interesting thing. I'm really disorganized and didn't get any good pictures of them. So, but just imagine they were just really fixed, like little tiny toys, and they had little games. They all worked really badly, but they had like an eliminator set, and they had the wall. And they had like two generic characters, one female, one male for the contenders. And I believe they did red and blue of each of those, and they did various gladiators. But the interesting thing is the gladiator figures were literally just like the same as the American gladiator figures. We just repainted them because no expense was spared on the youth of England and their toys. So
I don't remember those at all. No, never seen.
No, I don't.
They weren't hugely popular from what I could see. What pictures I could find were...
No. I've seen some of those. My memory has just come back. I have seen some of those at Sandown. I believe I saw some. Yeah.
Oh, so you weren't tempted by it?
No, I wasn't tempted by it. They looked a bit rubbish, to be honest.
They were terrible, and the few pictures I could find were literally like grainy, like Argos index catalogue type pictures, and I just thought,
if we were professional, you should have let me know, and I could have maybe picked out a picture from one of my videos. I'm sure I've got a picture of the toy set somewhere.
Ah, well, but you hit the nail on the head there. If we were professional, like really not. This is.
I mean, this show lives up to its name, right? I mean, it's part of the. I mean, that's why I'm on here, right? That's why I'm the first guest on name. Right?
We felt we needed to raise the bar somewhat. We thought if we brought you in, then it would just up the game in general, and it would sort of bring like when Coronation Street brings in like an esteemed actor to do a couple of guest episodes, just to raise the bar a bit, just to bring the rest of the cast up. That's exactly what we did with you. We're not gonna.
All ships rise with the tide.
Well,
yes.
you mean the actor that's basically at the end of their career and
wants a few quid
on their last job.
We didn't agree money for this, did we? Though, did we agree money for this? I don't think we did.
Chocolate bars are fine.
Okay, yeah, I can do chocolate bars. I can totally do that. Just to say sorry, I'm laughing here because I'm just a hyena. I don't know if I said before, but good evening to Zantara and
Hello,
Chris
hello,
Miwa
milady.
from Chris Miwa from Chasing 80s Toys says, think I saw a American Gladiator special on Netflix or Disney Plus earlier this year. Well, there you go. So definitely worth checking out.
Do we know who the presenter was on American Gladiators? Because I don't. I wonder if it's someone that we would know.
No, because to be honest with you, Dave, I literally just brought that card up. I mean, I'm happy to Google it right now. I'm happy to. Let's do this. Let's do this.
No. We could ask our American friends in the chat.
Ah, yeah. Well, there's a quiz there. See, I know what you did. See, that's why we bring you in, because I have spent the last 2 streams with my phone in my hand, quickly Googling stuff through sheer lack of preparation. So yeah, no. To our American cousins, if you know, please put it in the comments section. Manga Fandango says, Gladiators, you will go on my second whistle.
Yeah.
What a contenders. Ready.
G-Force is saying that he really wanted to go on the tennis ball cannon. Yeah, me too. I thought that was one of the better games. I enjoyed that. Shooting tennis balls at 100 miles an hour at scampering people. I thought that was good.
That was a brilliant game.
Oh, what was it called, Nick?
That game was called Powerball.
Yes.
And contestants attempted to score
really?
point. No, that wasn't Powerball. No, I'm talking absolute rubbish.
No, that's rubbish.
Rubbish. Swing shot. Yes.
No, it wasn't swing shot.
Oh,
No. It was just a game where they fired tennis balls at each other. Let's leave it at that, shall we?
But if I remember correctly,
I can't remember what.
When there's some obstacles that you could hide behind, and then you had a
Yeah. See, I've got a list of the top 10 Gladiator events, and I can't find that one on there. I've got all the things like the Eliminator, which was the final one, Hang Tough, which Dave's loved and we thought was terrible, the Duel, a one-on-one combat event where contestants faced off against a gladiator on a raised platform using pugil sticks. That game, I remember me and my cousin getting told off by my mum and dad because we stood in the back garden on patio chairs with like a broom each, like having wrapped bits on it, trying to like do that game. Because that was a somewhat epic game.
Breaking news. The name of the game, Danger Zone.
Danger Zone. Who brung that in? Who did you Google that?
I did a quick search.
You legend.
I used the power of the internet.
Danger Zone.
Highway to the Danger Zone.
And I think those tennis balls were 100 miles an hour job, weren't they? I mean, they weren't mucking about. Yeah.
So I've got a comment from Reading Movies. Reading Movies Googled the American presenter. I just Googled the American presenters and did not recognize any. But Reading, you didn't give us any of the names. So we'll It's great, isn't it? This is a professional show, this one.
It's funny, as people who live here in the UK, we always believe that we know all the American stars, right, and celebrities. But if you ever watch anything like I was watching the roast program. What's it called? Is it just called?
I think it's just called
Roast
something.
With Somebody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were watching the David Hasselhoff one, Scuba and I, when he was over. I didn't recognize any of the American celebrities on there. So,
right.
Yeah, no,
they keep them all to themselves.
Yeah.
So, I think someone did say it in the comments. Zantara did. Apparently, the American Gladiators was presented by Mike Adamo, John. Why have they got the hardest to pronounce names in the world? Joe Traceman, Todd Christensen, Larry Sonka, Lisa Malosky, and Danny Lee Clark.
This is why Reading Movies didn't put that in the chat.
Yeah, this is totally why reading movies didn't go there. But anyway, let's not get too bogged down with American Gladiators and show the chink in my armor too much more here for my research. But on the subject of presenters, in our Gladiators, our presenters, the ones that most people remember was Ulrika Johnson and John Fashanu.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Yeah.
and they did not go without their own controversies, shall we say? Because Ulrika famously, she famously had a little bit of a thing with John Fashanu, as do my research notes say from what I could find on the internet. But she also had a bit of a thing with Hunter, the gladiator. So Ulrika liked her co-stars and the people she worked with, and she was obviously a very personable lady.
Very friendly.
So
Yeah.
very friendly indeed.
Very friendly. Yeah. Very
I
friendly.
mean, how does one go from like Hunter the Gladiator to Sven-Goran Eriksson though? I mean, that's how did that go? What was the trajectory there of that?
I think she was following the money. I think she just followed the money.
So, perhaps
She likes football or something. I don't know. She likes managers.
She likes powerful men indeed. But no. So I think we should probably go into.
Was that her first major presenting job? Because she was.
I think it was
right?
one of. Yeah, it was one of her first big TV roles, because you are right. I believe she was like a GMTV girl or something like that, or whatever its iteration of the time was called. She was a weather girl. And she also became quite famous because Cy Mangafandanga's put this in the chat for Ulrika from Shooting Stars, of course, which
Shooting Stars,
Reeves and Mortimer absolutely ripped her with that, because she used to come on the show. I mean, it was all a good laugh, but they used to sing Ulrika she's a slapper, is our Ulrika, and they used to really play on the fact that Ulrika had many celebrity relationships, which you know, the 90s, it was a different time. Yeah.
Yes, different times indeed.
But so earlier on, we sort of spoke about gladiators that we remembered. To say I could name these guys, I could name a few of the gladiators on this slide without names. Mm-hmm. But do you guys think you can name it? I can probably name a few without looking. There's the obvious one. There's Wolf. There's Wolf, yes, yeah. Wolf. He was a bad man, was Wolf, but apparently one of the nicest guys.
He was also an old man. He was also an old. He was,
and his actual name was Michael Van Wyk. Michael Van Wyk. I can't pronounce it because it's spelt Wijk. So I've got no idea how to pronounce that. But he was very disliked, but equally a very nice man in real life by all accounts. So he played his role well.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say, Monkey Boy?
Yeah. I was going to say that I think his surname is pronounced Weak, which is ironic because he probably wasn't very weak, but he certainly was old, wasn't he? I mean, I'm pretty sure he must have been at least 45 when he was on that show.
He was certainly one of the older gladiators at the time. He's still fit as a fiddle now, though. If you look at pictures of him now, he is still, because a lot of the gladiators, if you see pictures of them now, they don't look like that anymore.
But he's knackered though. He still has to go to chiropractic to the chiropractor and the physio and stuff because he did knacker himself.
I don't think bodybuilders have. Oh, Dave's got a special delivery.
Special
delivery. Look at that.
When you G&T is right.
I need. Yeah. Sorry, it's that painful. You're already on the G&T. Did you message DCB June? This is painful. Get me booze. Is that what you did?
Yeah. We have a secret sign which we had pre-arranged before the stream.
Oh, so you've said that special code. So, right. Okay. And just a quick hello to Collecting with Cool before we go any further. Hello there.
So we're trying to name them all, are we?
We're trying to name them. I did have a slide like this which had all the names on it, which I pulled off the internet, and I looked on it, and it's actually owned by some company. And I looked because I always like to try and check my pictures before I bring them up. And this company is savage, so I was like, no, I'm not taking that image.
So we obviously
see how many we can get.
Let's go to the big ones.
Well, I can name Shadow, because Shadow was like my favourite gladiator as a kid. So he's the chap in the back, in the corner. We've got, well, we can obviously name... Hunter is there. Yes, I can see Hunter. Hunter is top row, furthest on my right. Just... you could sort of, it's hard to point out because obviously I can't point to you. But he's the one with his fist raised like that. So we've got Hunter there. We've got, I believe, on the opposite side of him, not the one in the middle, we've got Trojan. I think we've got Blaze there, the female gladiator. We've got Jet.
Jet, of course.
It's definitely
was one, wasn't it? Wasn't Scorpion?
Scorpion, yeah. I think, isn't she the blonde-haired lady underneath Hunter there?
Oh, is she blonde? I thought she was dark-haired.
No, Scorpion was the dark-haired one.
Is she at the bottom row? Is she one of the two at the bottom row?
I think that's Panther in the bottom row, isn't it?
Panther, okay.
So
I think it is Panther, but Scorpion was a female gladiator. I'm not sure if she's in. I'm not sure if she's in this lineup here. Particularly, you've got Saracen there on the extreme
Saracen.
right.
Scorpion. Was she called Scorpion? I can't remember now.
Let me have a look through the names. What have I got here? So male gladiator names I've got Wolf, I've got Hunter, I've got Trojan, I've got Rhino. I actually think Rhino is the guy in the top middle. You've got...
Oh, yeah. No, I think
Warrior.
that's isn't that Warrior? I think that's Warrior in the top middle, isn't it?
God bless bad resolution. But just to fire through the names quickly, we've got Cobra, we've got Shadow, and for the females, and it's a long list because this ran for like quite a few years, 13 seasons, and lots of them retired, got injured. And on the female gladiators, we had Jet, who is called Diane Udell. She's still got a good TV career going. She pops up on things like Loose Woman and that, and I think she retrained. We've got Hunter. No, I'm going up the top again. We've got Lightning. We've got Panther. Yeah, there is a Panther. So Panther at the bottom there. Flame, Phoenix, Rebel, and Siren.
Siren.
I sort of remember Siren. But as you can see, regardless of who they are, they were hench. They were fine. They were prime physical specimens, those people. Leads me to one gladiator I wanted to talk about, and I don't want to dunk on him because everyone has their issues in life, and it's not fair to dunk on them. But one of the notable scandals that I came across loads when looking up Gladiator was actually involving Jefferson King, who was actually Shadow. That's Shadow. And he was dismissed from the show in 1995 after one of the tabloid newspapers outed him for using steroids. Now, I don't want to sound controversial here, but I'm looking at the lineup there. And I'm just saying, I don't think... is anyone shocked that somebody on the panel might have taken steroids?
Not really.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I was reading it, and then of course after he got dismissed from the show, he went on and he got into bad times in life, and a couple of things happened which got him in trouble with the law, and it was all like a House of Cards effect for the poor guy. I think he's back on track now, from what I understand. But
right.
I just think, what a crappy thing for the papers to do. We're going to look at this guy, and I couldn't get my head around that one. I was like, right, so I mean, I know people who work out a lot, and I used to go to gyms and do stuff, and there's a culture for it for some of the real big people. I don't want to speak for everyone because some people are natural, but there's a culture there, and when you've got big guys like that, especially in that time, I don't know how that became the scandal it became. And I can only imagine that the TV bosses probably reacted to like public fury over it.
Yeah.
Because of like them being idols to kids and everything. But
Yeah.
That's where
But
you need to have an
also-
educated conversation with your kids, really.
Yeah, wasn't it also the time though, especially well, maybe worldwide actually, but in sports generally, wasn't there a whole thing about just usage of drugs in sports at that time, and they were starting to sort of clamp down on stuff. And I don't know, I think you made a target.
Yeah,
of that.
I think you may be right, because I remember WWF, now WWE. I mean, they had a whole thing about trying to ban performance enhancing drugs in it, and I think with WWE, I mean, that is definitely on the performance side. I guess the one argument for these guys is if they are taking steroids and performance enhancing drugs against contestants who aren't, then, you know, with these, yes, I'm not going to say for 1 minute that WWE, WWF wrestlers don't get hurt, because they do. I've watched it my whole life, and wrestlers have died in the ring. You know, there's real risks, but it's not the same. I mean, I guess there are people competing against these guys, but I just when I read it, I was like, really? That was a thing? They dredged him through all of this for that? But, you know, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. And I'm not saying anyone else there on the panel took steroids. I'm just saying, I'm just looking at the physiques and saying, well, they've all got similar physiques. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I mean, there was sorry, Dave, go on.
No, yeah, go ahead, Monkey.
Oh, well, I was going to say that the gladiator named Warrior got in trouble after the series had ended. He got in trouble with the law because he was found in possession of I think they said a Tesco bag full of steroids, and he also had boxes of CS gas, and he was actually prosecuted for it and served some time behind bars because of it. I think he did about 6 months in prison for having substances that he shouldn't have had, and so no doubt he was possibly on them as well.
Adam Real Toy Dude, he's put in the comments, he's put, VTR is right, steroids was a hidden thing, so for it to be outed was a big deal. I actually remember this really well and used to love and watch the hell out of this show every week. So I guess it was probably breaking. I mean, I guess to the normal public, if you don't know about this stuff, you don't know, but
yeah,
it is a shame that it's one thing to be dismissed, but I mean, you know what the media's like. They get hold of someone and they're like dogs with bones. They don't stop shaking until the subject is practically dead, which is just. But I'm glad from what I can see, he has sort of got back on top of it. But
I suspect behind the scenes that there was quite a lot of competition going on as well between all the gladiators and that, and because I think I remember. Well, there's a few scandals, right, around gladiators, and I think I remember one where the bosses did fire a bunch of the gladiators, and because there was some poll or something like that where people had voted who their favorite gladiators were, and some of the gladiators basically didn't do very well in the poll, and they all just got let go.
So I mean,
really.
Yeah, the producers weren't the nicest, because I think Ulrika went on record to say that she used to feel really quite uncomfortable. She was known for wearing low cut tops and things, and I think she said that these days, if someone would have said to her, she'd say, "Piss off, I'm not doing that," and people feel empowered to do that. But then it was almost like, no, skimpier. So there was a lot of pressure on like Ulrika to, you know, this is all allegedly and from the point of view of people. And of course, I've taken these notes off of the internet, which isn't always the most reliable source. I will put that there with it. But yeah, it does seem as though there was that. And yeah, no, Dave, you brought up something I was going to go into. I did come across some information that these TV producers, well, when have they not been brutal? So yeah, I guess the competition, if you think that, especially, you know, if that's happened and people are going to just suddenly, you're gone because the public hasn't voted you, that's going to make you want to be the best of the best. And then it's going to get competitive. Because the one thing which is always stood out to me and I find quite remarkable about Gladiators, and there have been some big guys go on here, but when you watch the women's events, there have been some real chunky women, like as in muscular girls and that. But I always felt the competitions between the female contestants versus the gladiators was slightly more fair for size. But my God, when you watch some of the male guys who would go in, you've got people like, 5'6", 5'7", and they're going against 6'4", 20 stone walking muscles. And at times you used to watch it and just think, oh my God, they're just getting splattered. Even in the new BBC series, one of the contestants, a guy called, I think he was called Chun. He was running on like the Powerball event where they dunk the ball, if that's what it's called. And the biggest gladiator you can imagine just literally ran into him and slammed him to the ground like he was nothing. And you just look and go, oh my God, mate, you're a bit of a dick, aren't you? Like that was, well, I know it's a competition and it's a game, but my God, it's like you look at some of the contestants and you just think that is well out of order. I mean, I know they sign up for it.
Yeah.
Go on, Dave.
Having said that, though, strength isn't the be all and end all, right?
No, certainly not.
Sure.
No,
sure.
Because like take Bruce Lee for example, right? He's not. I mean, he was lean and muscly in that respect, but he wasn't a big guy like these. But I suspect Bruce Lee could have beaten most of them in quite a lot of the events. And I don't think the Gladiators ever did that final event, did they? They never did the.
No, they never did the Eliminator. And I guess that to the argument of Bruce Lee, I mean, you could stick in a middleweight boxer against any of the behemoths in there, and if you put them in a ring and said fight, the outcome is the gladiator is Sparko on the canvas,
exactly,
or a UFC fighter. So
there is that. So those gladiators couldn't actually do the eliminator because I imagine most of them just get knackered halfway through.
Yeah. I mean, certain gladiators did seem to be assigned to certain things. Shadow was an absolute phenom on the on the gauntlet. Yeah, the one with the pugil sticks. He was a beast, and I don't know if you remember. His whole thing was his stare. He would just stare down. He had like this death stare, and you could almost see like the arses twitching of the contestants. Like, shit, I've got to fight this guy next. And the thing is, it's not nice. These hits are. You think, oh, it's a padded stick, but that's like saying, well, oh, it's okay being punched with a boxing glove. It's padded. You're still getting hit. Do you know what I mean? You're still taking shots to the head. But back to Dave's point, there's certainly games where being agile, smaller and agile, did help the contestants, like some of the people up the wall, and certainly I know we're talking 90s gladiators, but in the newest season, there's a game where they're running across like a crisscross cut out floor up in the air. And the smaller guys tend to do better against the big guys because they can the big guys are quite cumbersome. But by God, when the big guys get hold of them, there is one outcome, and those people are going. They are, and they're not even nice about it, man. They're just like, nope, you're going, and you throw them off, and you see them hitting the net, and you just think, my God.
But then, if you think about it, the contestants on the show will have had to sign a waiver saying that they
definitely.
That they may become injured, and obviously the gladiators know this, so there's really no reason for them to hold back. And I bet behind the scenes, they sort of secretly think, oh, I'm going to really smash this guy because it makes for good TV. And
there's ego as well, isn't there? There's ego.
Sure.
If you are a 6'4", 20 stone man. And in the event before, some little mush who's 5'6" and weighs 12 stone has just made you look an absolute mug, and you get the opportunity. And it wasn't a small. This was filmed in like an arena. Every show event was an arena event. So you're not gonna. You are gonna. It's gonna happen, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
they don't want to lose. They don't want to lose. That's for sure.
No, and so. I see it, but there are just times when I've looked and I've thought, yeah, that was a bit harsh, mate. You could have just like done that. And he was out, but it's like, nope, you're gonna die. I mean, when they got that little chung guy, it was like one step away from the scene in The Dark Knight Rises when Bane smashes Batman's back, his spine on his knee. You think, well, why didn't you just pick him up and crack his spine, mate? Because the guy properly shredded his knee up. He was out of the competition. It was like, oh my God. But it's quite funny. the thing is that you get that, but I kind of like the woman events because where the women tend to be more similar in size, there's not so much disparity in the size. The women have historically had the women contenders have had some absolutely amazing scraps with the female gladiators, and it's just incredible to watch.
Of course, we all believe you. That's the reason you like the women events.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, I like to see a good, fair, even match. That, you know, in the sport, in my sport that I love, which is boxing, there's weight categories for a reason. But
No,
there you go.
Zantara's just saying a little while ago that she hated the Powerball game. She thought it was a disgusting game and said that the male gladiators were very abusive. Now, Zantara, are you talking about the US version? Because I think Zantara is possibly talking about the US version. So I'm not sure if that was any different to the UK one.
Which one was Powerball again?
I think
Powerball.
Wasn't Powerball. Was
Let
it the
me
one
go
where
through my
they
little
had
list of games?
They had to grab a ball and then run and dunk it into a little basket. Is that the one?
Yeah, I believe so. Powerball. Contestants attempted to score points by depositing balls into scoring pods, avoiding being tackled. Because that was the same game that Chung guy I was talking about got absolutely smashed in.
Yeah.
And the balls, they if the ball touches the floor, it's out. So they could like throw them like a netball or a basketball. And if it went in without touching the floor, it was fine. You couldn't bounce it in. And the pods were like on a springy type thing. But that game, there's been some horrific injuries in that because it is like rugby tackles. So people that ties in with what
Zantara's saying, being quite a violent, abusive game.
But then, I mean, I agree with Zantara, but then I guess to like you guys saying, you know, it's a discussion and you can see other people's points of views for sure. I guess the contestants signed up and they've agreed to have a game. And if the gladiators are there to put a stop to them, I guess you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm sure when you sign the document, it says you may die.
One.
Yeah. Sign your life away.
Yeah.
You may die.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have a quick flick through the comments now because we've been chatting. I'm just going to have a quick catch up. If we don't go through all the comments, please don't think that we don't that we don't love you. We do. We love you all, and we want you to be here every week. But we just talk so much waffle. Scuba Pete saying hello to collecting with Cool. We've got G-Force having a chat. Sai, isn't that behind the blonde commentator? Lol. Manga Fandango Arsai says, if I had to wear that leotard, I'd constantly be pulling it out of my butt crack. Yeah, because they weren't always the most flattering of I guess they were flattering if you were built that way. TJC saying,
had any wardrobe malfunctions during the show.
I looked for Gladiators wardrobe malfunctions purely for research. And apparently there were a few, but because it was recorded, it wasn't live. They were generally edited out so that I couldn't find. Not that I could have showed any anyway, but it's one of those. They did have injuries. Let's have a quick look, see if we've got anyone else having a chat. Adams put Ulrika and Hunter were married for 5 years, by the way. It wasn't a flash in the pan either. Wow. There we go.
Wow.
There we go. We need to hire Adam as a researcher for the show. That's what we need to do.
I think the referee married them.
Sorry?
Do you think the referee married them?
Yeah.
Oh no, Adams.
You will kiss on my third whistle.
Ulrika, ready.
He's just corrected himself. He said that she was married to the cameraman on the show and had a fling with Hunter afterwards.
Oh, okay. So she wasn't married to Hunter 5 years. So she was with the cameraman, and then she had a bash on Fash, and then she had to go on Hunter. Fair enough. Hey, look. Well,
John Fashanu kind of did quite well out of that, didn't he? Because if I remember correctly, he caused a lot of controversy with his elbow, didn't he?
Yes.
He was known as Fash the Elbow or something like that because he was known for in his football career. He was known for having quite, shall we say, loose and free elbows in tackles.
Good old
Yeah,
fashioned.
but that was different times as well. I mean, do you remember Vinnie Jones? I mean, he would just grab
Yeah.
people's
Yeah.
He would
private
like
parts.
properly pinch them, wouldn't he? Like he'd properly dig in. I mean, he wasn't. I mean, but look at how it paid off for him, being that absolute psychopath on the football pitch, that nutter on the pitch. I mean, look, it got him. He gets cast in blooming Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, and look at the films he's been in since. You know, so maybe being that guy. G-Force has put, there was a show in the 80s called World's Greatest Bouncer. I first saw Mr. T. He crashed through the door at the end of the obstacle course and rang the bell with his head. Amazing.
Right.
That is amazing.
That's going to be my first YouTube search after this show.
That has got that's the best thing ever. I don't think that's worth looking into. Yeah. And Adam's put, the application process is quite intense. You have to have fitness tests and also have to do 1 minute videos of why you should be on and get invited to the next stage. Yeah, no, I've got a couple of notes on the process, and it was very Big Brother-esque, but you actually had to be fit. So there was certainly an element as well of you couldn't. It did seem to me when I was researching it that you couldn't just be like a powerhouse athletic person. If the face didn't fit, you weren't getting on. But that kind of fits to what we were saying earlier about they had an image for the show, and they wanted to keep it as such.
Can you imagine some of those? Can you imagine some of those audition videos that were sent in?
Oh my god! And Adam has put, as I said, I nearly applied for the new series as well. There we go, Adam. You should do it, man. You should absolutely do it. I mean, I don't fancy your chances against Legend in some of those games because there's a new Gladiator called Legend, and his whole character is trying to be a bit of a div, a bit of a dick, like, you know, to people. Like, he loves himself. His whole thing is he loves himself. But I actually think he's a great character because Jax loves him. You can see that he's like the pantomime villain, you know. Because some people try, because the thing is, Wolf was the pantomime villain, wasn't he? In our day, he was the one who used to run out and growl at kids, and kids would cry, and they'd all have the sign saying they hated Wolf, right? But no one can truly replicate Wolf. That's not what this new guy's trying to do. But he's just literally become the most arrogant person ever. But it's actually funny, and you can almost see himself trying not to laugh when he says some of the stuff he says. So it's like, fair play. That's what's going to win you. But you know, there you go.
Have they got an equivalent of Wolf in the new series? Have they got someone that's a bad guy?
Sort of.
No, they've got that.
The guy doesn't talk very much.
Serpent guy or whatever he's called, Serpent or Snake or whatever, and he just sort of growls and goes. It's like, mate, come on. You're not. The thing is, Wolf used to come. Wolf was great because he did the whole thing. He used to argue with John Anderson, the referee, who was famously the Scottish referee that absolutely everybody loved.
He was the John McEnroe of Gladiators.
Yeah, contenders. And yeah, he was Wolf. I think Wolf had it all. And in the 90s, it was interesting because going through YouTube, I found some videos of like an audience with, and you know, in the 90s, there was this big thing for getting celebrities and doing an audience with, and they'd invite all the current TV celebs to sit in the audience. And there's this amazing one. I think it might even be an audience with Freddie Starr, you know. And Wolf is sat in the audience with like this bandana on, just like between these like real squad, and he's just hench, and it's just like. But you can see, and he's like there laughing and having a great time because he's broke character at this point. Mm-hmm. But it was just bloody brilliant.
That's awesome.
And Kim has put, he is Scottish. What's not to love? Well, yeah, John Anderson. Who didn't love John Anderson? Although there was some controversy. They do reckon, in my notes here, that people got upset because they reckon there was a bit of match fixing and stuff in Gladiators back in the day. I couldn't find the actual things, but yeah, apparently there was match fixing. Which, when you look at Gladiators on the whole and what it is, I sort of think to myself, match fixing in Gladiators? I mean, I perhaps didn't consider how seriously this show is taken until I looked into it. It's like it's a proper thing. And fair play to people. I mean, they love it. I mean,
There
not
was
sure.
some cheating though, wasn't there? If I remember correctly.
There was a very famous cheating, the one incident to do with the wall, and one of the contestants oiled up her legs, and when the gladiator went to grab her legs, she slid off and couldn't get her off the wall. Now, she wasn't disqualified for this, but there was an immediate rule change straight after that, and they deemed that it wasn't in the spirit of Gladiators, although she wasn't going to be disqualified, and going forward, no one would be allowed to do that. But they also would like loosen their shoe. There's a lot of shoe loosening that goes on in the new version, because I don't believe their shoes fall off as easily as they do. It's like almost every episode, one of them's losing their shoes. So, yeah, there's been some cheating going on. That's the one I know. I don't know if anyone in the comments knows any.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, just say a quick hello to PGM. Hello, mate. Thank you for popping along. He says hello, APD, hello. Dave, a monkey boy. So,
hello, PGM.
Welcome.
Hello, man.
You are welcome, sir. Anytime. And Reading Movies says,
PGM?
yeah, he's up at the crack of dawn. Reading Movies says most TV shows are fixed these days. Well,
probably.
Oh,
I don't know about MasterChef. Isn't fixed, is it? That can't be fixed.
No, I don't know.
Probably not. No.
It can't be. It can't be. Although there have been, but there have been a couple of contenders as well, contestants who went on to become gladiators. The one name, which I just had right on the screen here, but I pressed the wrong button. And it's like, there we go. The one name that I've got right in front of me here, now I've just scattered my notes everywhere, is a chap called Warren Furman, who competed before, and he became the gladiator ace. And there was a female gladiator, and I did have the note, and for some reason I haven't included it there. So something in my head says it may have been a lady called Eunice or something or other. But anyway,
Eunice was one of the contestants that did really well. She was one of the best ones on there. Someone mentioned her in the chat earlier on. Eunice was one of the best female contestants that they had. I think she dominated. She was really good.
Let me just have a look. So I've got another note on her. Eunice Hewhart. She went on to become Blaze. Sorry, I pressed something and my notes went all over. I've got a Chromebook to the side of me and I'm trying to control I'm rubbish with technology. But unfortunately, she suffered a severe injury during swing shot and fractured her spine, and that led to her retirement from the show and the end of her career as a gladiator.
Wow.
So
right.
Yeah, she so she sort of smashed absolutely everybody.
G-Force
got it there, Blaze.
Wasn't who was it? Amazon. Amazon comes to mind now. She female gladiator. She was the swimmer. Sharon.
Yes, Sharon Davis.
Sharon Davis, that's right. I remember her being on the show.
Yeah, she damaged her knee. I think it was on the pyramid. She tackled someone and threw them down, and they landed on her leg, and she snapped her ACL ligament in her knee, which she'd actually damaged as a child anyway. So it was an injury that she'd had before, she knackered her knee. And the pyramid was actually a very dangerous game, because that was the game that saw the final appearance of Jet, because Jet tackled someone on the pyramid, and when they went down to the ground, she landed awkwardly on her head and nearly broke her own neck. Apparently, she was lucky to not have been paralyzed or even killed. She quit the show after that. After 4 years, she said, "No, I'm not risking that again." And
I don't think you can blame her. I mean, she was one of the youngest gladiators as well, wasn't she? I mean, she was 22 or something when she started, so she was like the youngest in the pack of gladiators, and she wanted to get out while she had a bit of fame and could make a few quid before she absolutely ruined herself. I think she got the scare of her life from what I read. Well, as anyone would. I mean, if you think you've done yourself in.
Yeah. But as you mentioned earlier, she's still got a TV career. She still appears on TV quite a bit, and I believe she retrained as a psychotherapist. I want to say I might have that wrong, but
I
she
believe
certainly
you're right. Yes,
retrained and
So I had psychiatrist, psychotherapist. So
yeah,
either she went on to have a really good career, really did do well. But
yeah,
she's had regular appearances on things like Loose Woman, and she's appeared on other shows and done other small hosting bits. So she didn't completely fall out of the limelight. And I don't think she was going to at that point, because she literally was loved by.
Yeah,
She was a pin-up,
yeah,
wasn't she? She was loved by everyone.
yeah.
I would say Wolf and Jet were probably the most famous ones, right? They were the ones that everybody talked about at school.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's interesting, because as we go through the history of Gladiators, I've obviously referenced and spoke about the Gladiators, which has now gone to BBC. But were either of you guys aware that in 2008, Gladiators was relaunched on Sky One in the UK?
No.
Ah,
It absolutely was.
wow.
It ran for 2 seasons. The first season did okay. The second season was dying on its arse, so they got back Wolf and a couple of the older Gladiators to act as coaches, where they rounded the Gladiators up to make like teams to bring a new thing. All the events
Okay.
seemed to be based above water. So if you fell off, you fell into
Okay,
water.
right.
And
Okay.
they were some of the most obnoxious human beings I remember seeing on screen. Some of the male gladiators were absolute arseholes. I don't mind saying it. That one of them, actually, I forget his name. I wasn't going to bring this up, but I remember he appeared on Celebrity Big Brother, and I can remember there was like a professional boxer in the house. He had a real chip on his shoulder because he wanted to be the big man in the house, and you could see he hated it. I think it was Audley Harrison was in the house with him. Although Audley Harrison, the boxer, didn't have the most esteemed professional boxing career. He was an Olympian. He did do well. I believe he got gold, and he would have mullered this guy, you know, if it got to fisticuffs. But
Right.
this guy, you could see. I know that they have to portray a character. You had the character of Wolf, who was like a bad guy and everything. But you know, when you see someone, and it's supposed to be acting, playing up for the cameras, but you can actually see the venom in them. Like, he was a real, and seeing him on like that Celebrity Big Brother, because he wasn't really a celebrity. Sort of, this got cancelled, he got on that. It confirmed every thought I ever had about him. He was just an absolute arse. It's like, oh yeah, you actually are the arsehole I thought you were when I used to see you on this show, which lasted 2 seasons. So yeah, Sky One got the rights to it, and it just did not take off. It was not.
So if they were above water the whole time, did they do it in a studio? Because surely they couldn't
Yeah, it
have
was in a
taken that
studio.
on the road.
Not every event was above water, but for the most part, there was lots of tanks of water. They do gauntlet above the water. They do like whatever games they'd fall into water. Hang Tough was over water.
Right.
I am mostly going from memory because I couldn't sit myself through watching the YouTube clips on it because it was terrible, dude. I can remember how terrible it was, and I didn't need to take up any of the remaining storage in my brain, putting that crap back in my brain. But
I
it didn't do well.
didn't even know it was on. Never knew it had been rebooted.
And I
then.
think that's part of the problem, because I don't think Sky One marketed it as much. And it was also filmed in a studio, like Monkeyboys said, so it didn't have the set. It had an audience, but it wasn't an arena event.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you think back to 90s Gladiators, when like the Gladiators would come out, they play Thin Lizzy, the boys are back in town, the crowd would be going, all the signs. I mean, this literally. The nation was captivated by the 90s Gladiators.
It's interesting, actually. You can tell it came from America, right? Because if that was a British-made program, you wouldn't have had all of that. So if you think back to the sort of end of the 80s and the 90s, we were lapping up American TV, weren't we? Back then. I mean, on a Saturday, everything was an American TV series. So it kind of made sense that they brought all the American sort of traits into the program, and that's why we loved it.
Yeah, we did, and you're absolutely right, because if you look at clips on YouTube of American Gladiators, we literally did clone it. The Eliminator was slightly different. I believe in the American Gladiators, they actually started the Eliminator by running up a Travelator. And I think they may have had one at the end, if memory serves. But, you know, variation of the theme, but it was pretty much the same thing. Yeah. The Gladiators...
That Travelator was a killer. Sorry.
Oh, it was. No, it's fine. I was just saying... something that was very notable in the 90s Gladiators personalities is it's almost like they injected a little bit of WWE into them. There was because we were at the time, I mean, in the UK, we were absolutely eating it all up. We loved wrestling, the American wrestling, everything. We were mad on it. So it seems a natural and a wise decision, as it proved to be, to take this American property and rather than just air their version, but make our own. And I think I mean, American Gladiators has been relaunched a couple of times since, from what I understand, but I think we actually, from what I saw of online and my research, English Gladiators was actually more popular. We really did produce a good show. I mean, yes, we took the idea and it was very similar, but for whatever reason, English people they loved it, and it was everywhere.
I remember I do the full American experience. I would always, whenever it was on a Saturday, I'd always have a burger and fries. I mean, it was the Saturday night special meal, right?
That's what we had as kids. Seriously, on a Saturday night, you'd have all the American shows, and Dad would always cook burger and chips for us.
Yeah.
And it was a proper thing. It was Saturday night TV was an event in this country.
It was.
You know, and it was all family friendly, and sort of you'd watch it through, and then. I don't know. I can remember getting to the point about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Your parents would be like, "You are going to bed now," because you'd wham them up. But Saturday night TV was such a great thing in the UK. I don't know. So a question to our American cousins in the audience: what was Saturday night TV like in America for you guys? Was it as big an event for you as it was for us? Because we really did have a great time with it. And I just have to say, welcome to Scream V, as Monkeyboy said in the previous episode. So Scream 7. Thank you for popping along. Great to see you in the chat again.
Good to see you. Thanks
the
for
chat generally. I think
I missed that. I think there was a hint there. What was the hint about redheads? What was his hint?
I was just going to say, I think the chat are going on about redheads, and I think they may be referring to the lady on the on the Gladiator Sky One picture there.
Yes.
She
good advice. Good advice.
Yeah, no, she was popular there. Victoria Squire says, "Bring back brunettes." Well, there you go, because those redheads will make you badly.
Reading movies has got to shoot off. Thanks for joining us, Lewis. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for
thank you, Lewis. Sorry for not bringing your comment up, dude, because they move so quick. But no, thank you for popping along, and hopefully see you on the next one, sir. We've got, what else have we had said in the chat? I think the chat having a little bit
is mentioning the Travelator again. Yeah, I mean that was a real killer, wasn't it? Because there were so many occasions where, especially when you had when one of the contestants had a big head start on the other one, it really didn't make any difference because that Travelator really leveled the playing field. You could have someone that was 20 seconds in the lead, and yet they just didn't have the legs to get up there, and the other person would end up catching them up and winning. So that was a real killer. One.
The Eliminator was a horrible thing though, because I remember originally on the 90s version, the ladies had like monkey bars that they'd swing across on. And do you remember the men had these like hand
cycle thing, and
they were horrible.
Yeah.
And you could all upper body strength was one of the big keys, obviously being strong, but fantastic upper body strength was real crucial at the start of the Eliminator because they had that bloody rope ladder. And so they burned themselves up. And if they both got on that at the same time, because basically through the games, what would happen is they would get X amount of points. And I believe every so many seconds every so many points equated to a second.
Half every point was equal to half a second, I believe.
That's right. Yep. Thank you. Okay. You just saved me fishing back through my notes. Cheers. Thank you so much. Zantara puts.
See,
I was
this
just
is the
about to
thing, 'cause
mention the hand bikes
Yeah.
in the US Eliminator.
Yeah. But this was the thing, though. You would have a contestant, they would do really well throughout all of the events and get themselves a good, 10, 15 seconds head start or whatever on the eliminator. But it really counted for nothing, because quite often that, it would be the other competitor that would come through to win. So it really was all down to that last event, wasn't it? And
It literally just happened on the new version of Gladiators. There's this one girl who smashed every event. By rights, she smashed the girl, points and everything, and it got to the eliminator and her legs went on her, and the poor girl just could not get up the thing. And the other girl got up and won it. And fair play, the other girl was a strong contestant. She worthy winner, and that's the name of the game. You fell, you don't go forward. But I felt so bad for her. But that used to happen all the time in Gladiators.
yeah,
Even
you would see people
and-
fold on that travelator. They'd start to go up it, and they'd take a couple of steps, and you could see them going. You could see their legs go into rubber.
Yeah.
A real killer.
Well, to be fair, my legs do that at the airport. You can, got those traveling, whatever they call the moving floors that you get at airports.
100%.
If you walk up the wrong way, then you can pretend you're in Gladiators.
Kim's put an interesting comment there, and I think she's referring to Saturday night with the family. But I think technology in general has ruined people sitting down together, and I think it has. And to go to Adam's comment, Saturday night TV ended when streaming became a bigger thing. Having the ability to watch what you like when you like meant families don't sit down at a time to watch the same thing. And so to Kim, and that's obviously Kim's follow-on comment. Absolutely.
Well, you didn't have any choice, really, did you, back in the day?
No. I mean, and there was one screen as well, wasn't there, in your house?
Yeah.
Normally, I mean, okay, maybe the kids had their own TV in the bedroom, but in terms of sort of family viewing, you put the telly on and you all watch the same thing. But now everyone can have their own screen and watch their own stuff.
Yeah, let me walk you through Saturday afternoons in our house, right, as a kid. Well, Saturdays in my house as a kid, so you got to be at Saturday morning TV, right? You have your cartoons and that. We were lucky we had Sky, so I'd watch a bit of Fun Factory, DJ Cat, Jason the World Warriors, and all that stuff would come on. Then sort of that would end. Your mum and dad make you go and play, do something. And then you dread dad coming home, not because he was a monster, but you dread him putting on the bloody football results and that thing. Wigan 1, Norwich 2, Southampton, whatever. And you had to sit through that. And you had to sit through that crap. And you were just praying for it to end, so hoping that they would put Dinosaurs on, which I believe was on ITV, and that sort of would... And then... or whatever show it was of the time to kick in.
Was Fraggle Rock around that time?
I remember Fraggle Rock as a kid. I don't remember it being evening-based for me.
I remember it being I'm sure it was on a Saturday, and I can't remember if it was around the 90s, that sort of time. I'm sure it must have been around then.
Yeah, it was late 80s, early 90s. Fraggle Rock. Yeah. Good old Fraggle.
But did you ever watch the British wrestling on a Saturday, Nick?
No. What sort of year are we talking here?
Oh, I don't know. It's probably 80s. Yeah.
So
just the time of Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks.
Right. Okay. So I know I may look old and haggard, but I was born in 84, Dave. The end of 84. So I can remember I can remember lots of little snippets, but sort of I started school in late 88.
Well, there was was it Grandstand? There was the sport. They had the sports program, right? I know you had the football results, but before then, and they would always, the BBC would always show, or ITV would always show these bizarre sports that nobody ever really cared about.
But yeah, it's these crazy things they do. I mean, go just to jump back on the subject while we wrap. if we just wrap this subject up quickly, then we can go for it. But yeah, so Sky One had 2008 to 2009, and now, of course, I've referenced it many times this evening. Gladiators on BBC One has returned. If I'm to be fair to it, it's not bad actually. It's got a bit more of the X Factor appeal to it now. There's a bit more sob story going on with some of the stuff. But it is what it is. And I think the Gladiators can be a little bit more complimentary. It's almost like they don't want to do it. But it's far more accurate and close to the Gladiators of the 90s. It's not quite there. I don't think the arena they're in is as big, but it has got the crowd, and you're starting to see people in the audience now, kids with the signs and everything. It's just been commissioned for a second series. So obviously did well. It's presented by Bradley Walsh and his son, who are like, I've got a lot of love for Bradley Walsh as a presenter, but his son does my head in. It's like, get rid of him for the next season.
Really?
Let's vote him out.
Have you not? Did you see the series that they did together?
No, I didn't see that.
Watch that. I quite like his son. But...
Okay, well, maybe I need to watch it. I think the problem is I watched this series and you can see that the writers are giving him really, really cheesy jokes, and it doesn't feel as though it feels like it's just like, here's your son, have your son with you. So, but I haven't seen that, so I will check that out.
Yeah,
so,
check that out. I quite like that. Yeah.
No, I will definitely check that out because I wasn't aware. I did wonder why his son was just plonked with him, how that came about. Because again, like we say, technology ruins stuff. I don't watch a lot of normal TV these days, so I miss so much. Adam, the real toy dude,
I haven't watched TV for a long time.
Yeah, it does get like that, doesn't it? 18 Baywatch would always be on around 5:30 p.m. on Saturday. I can remember 18 being on as a kid.
Yeah.
And my dad whinging every week, you wouldn't get tile squirrels on gravel. I don't care, Dad. B.A. Baracus is cool. No one ever gets shot. There's never any blood.
I have to correct your dad here. If it was a European or British car, you wouldn't get the tyre squeals. But American cars, they cannot corner, and you do get the tyre squeals.
Wow, I will absolutely tell my dad next time I see him, and he'll go. And you know what he'll say to me? He'll go. I was a professional driving instructor for 20 years. Don't you dare tell me a thing about driving, because that's what he's like. But and there was one other Gladiator. We did mention him. I just wanted to bring him up because obviously I'm an Action Man guy. I was a vintage Action Man guy. I know this isn't your era of Action Man, but I was there for the 90s. Mark Griffin, aka Trojan. He was, I don't know if anyone remembers the 90s Action Man adverts. He played Action Man in those adverts. And he also played Action Man. They had a cartoon of Action Man, and they had live action segments they played before and after the show. And Mark Griffin was Action Man. And he's actually a really nice chap, because I messaged him once on Instagram about something for a video I was going to do. Never got round to doing it, but he did say that he would happily help out if he could. So he's a nice guy.
Wow.
I didn't think he'd ever respond, but he did. I was like, bloody hell, he's responded. But he's actually an author now. He's a author, and his books sell, and he's doing really well for himself. So
good on him.
Check his stuff
What does he write about?
Well, fiction. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't really looked into it. I think it's like crime spy type stuff. As you know, I'm not very well read. If it's anything more than the Beano or Dandy, I haven't really got a clue. But from what I understand, he's doing really well, and his books sell well. So the internet is your friend. Please feel free to check out Mark Griffin's career if you would like to see what he writes about. I'm just going to look for a couple more comments and see where we're at. Adam's put a comment here. It's actually not rocket science. It's pretty logic, and agree with Kim Gonick. Tech has a lot to answer for. Yes, that's ironic talking about it on this YouTube, etc. But as whole tech has ruined a lot of social stuff. Yeah, so I get what you're saying there, Adam.
It's weird, isn't it? That technology and the internet has, on the one hand, it's brought the world closer together and brought everyone closer together, but on the other hand, it's driven us apart. It's a very peculiar sort of phenomenon. What's happened, you know? I mean, back in the day, if you wanted to chat to someone in America, you had to have them as a pen pal, you know, and you would write to them like on paper with a pen.
Yeah.
And now it's now you can talk to people on the other side of the world, you know, face to face, and it's great for that. But I wonder if the social aspect of the internet is sort of making us less capable of having face to face interactions.
I'm sorry, can I stop you there, Monkey Boy?
No.
Are your eyes actually open? What's
Yeah, they're
going
open.
on? What's
Yeah, they're
actually
open. No,
going
look.
on there? You
So
sure?
no, I always look like that. Yeah, no, I always look like that. Do
Just,
they look closed?
just a few times when
Sorry,
we were
no.
talking,
I tell you what it is. It may be where if Dave is looking at a certain part of his screen, if he's looking at a certain part of his screen, it looks like you might be looking, because I'm the same. It depends on where you're looking when you're talking on the camera.
No, my eye. Look, if I really look, there you go. Is that better? Is that better?
That's better. That's better because one of my friends
painful.
messaged me the other week and said, does Monkeyboy do the stream with his eyes closed? I was like, no, he doesn't. So I just
they are open.
Just thought I'd break your balls a bit for
I
it.
promise. No, that's all right. No problem. No, they're open.
Yeah, that was a good stare. That would make
That's a bloody good stare. That's almost as good as Shadow Stare from Gladiators. So I'm just gonna. It's almost, I thought I needed like an alarm clock earlier. I was like, I'm talking. Is he falling asleep on me? Am I that boring? So
no, they are open. I promise.
Okay. Occasionally, I may just have to do a little Monkey Boy. Are you there? Just reassurance.
Yeah. No, that's fine. No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. GeForce puts APD in Enter the Dragon. Bruce Lee did the House of Mirrors much harder than Gladiators. Haha. Me and GeForce the other night were having a discussion about Bruce Lee and his capabilities versus modern people, but that's a whole topic for itself.
Enter the Dragon is one of my all-time favorite films.
Love it. Boards don't fight back.
All right.
Boom.
Is that the one
Mr.
with
Hairman.
Chuck Norris or?
No.
No, that's the one that the big budget Warner Brothers one. Absolutely incredible film. If you don't own it, please do buy it next time you see it in a charity shop, dude. It's absolutely awesome.
It's a brilliant film. Except there's a slightly weird 70s kind of drug influenced scene. It's a bit odd.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a great film.
It is Bruce Lee. It had the Bruce Lee finally got the budget he deserved. So guys, I think we sort of got through that by the skin of our teeth. The subject of Gladiators, incredibly macho people.
There is
anything else
before we go ahead, APD. There is a game that I vaguely remember, and the only reason I remember it is because I can only describe it as Scalextric. Do you remember this game?
Yeah.
Scalextric, yeah.
Are you on about the one when they're on the sculpt up on the ceiling?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember this? It was like a sort of.
I do. And they had to run upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually made a toy of that. Yeah. They made a toy of that for the toys. I remember that.
No. Oh, there was a toy.
They had to scamper. They were scampering upside down. Yeah. They were attached by their waist.
They had to hit beacons to. Yeah. The further they got and the more beacons they hit, the more points they got, or something.
Yeah.
That was a game I liked. And if there is a toy of that, I might have to look that one up. Yeah.
Oh yeah. If it's broke, and you can get a broken one and repair it, because you know that's absolutely your thing. So kind of interesting. A little bit of a segue here. Great subject, great chat, guys. It's interesting Adam saying about how we've said technology brings us together and pulls us apart at the same time. But we were last week, me, Dave, and many people in this chat got to go to the NEC Toy Fair, and we stayed at the Premier Inn quite close to it, and it summed up for me what all of this is about. Although we do our channels, and although we speak online and we do these streams and podcasts and everything we do, it was amazing to get in a room with at the hotel, probably 25 of us. By the time we got to NEC, 40. And by the time the overall people, it was incredible, wasn't it, Dave? There was just so many people from the community.
I think I said the other night, I've been going to the NEC for 10 years or so, but that last weekend was the best NEC ever. Great to meet up with friends, meet new people.
It was incredible, and I was hoping you guys would allow me to indulge myself, indulge you, indulge whoever. I don't know who I'm indulging here, but I've put together a little rogues gallery of last weekend of selfies taken. I have to say here, some of it, if you guys are happy for me to show this, you haven't really got much choice because I've started it now, so I've got to show it. So you've just got to agree. No, it's fine. I'm only joking. But I didn't take many selfies. I tried to on the first day do recordings to put together a video, but I was drunk, and most of the time the camera was not even pointing at the people I was speaking to. So what I've done is I've done some screen grabs where possible, where I think so if some of the pictures, if I look like that, so here is the NEC Toy Fair from last weekend, and here is a rogues gallery and a who's who of who was there, and it's not everyone, but just stick with it, guys. Here we go. So, that was brilliant. That was a little photo summary of last weekend, and thank you to, although I didn't ask anyone's permission, if any of you on there recognise your Instagram pictures that I have stolen for selfies with you, I'm giving you your credit now, because like literally I didn't. I'm terrible at taking pictures, but it was such a good weekend. It was great to see you all and actually get in a room together and do the thing we love. And to be honest with you, these meetups, they're great, especially when we're doing the overnighters, because yes, it starts, it's toys and it's everything, but it just becomes a bunch of friends having a drink and a bloody good laugh. So Thank you to everyone who came up and said hello last weekend. It was absolutely brilliant to see you all. And check out everyone's videos on YouTube, because there are multiples, and please do check out VTR's video. It's a very good video. Is there anything about any memories that stand out for you from the NEC last week, Dave? Is there anything that
Oh, I mean, I remember Saturday night. Well, I remember most of Saturday night. I mean, DCB and I actually turned up on Friday because quite a few people were actually there very early on Thursday because of the train strikes. So some people have really made an event of it. But yeah, Saturday night was fantastic. Just meeting everybody, and then of course there was the kind of outing to the outside. And as you showed in the picture there were some cigars going around and whiskey. Not that I smoke cigars or drink whiskey, but it was great to see people participating in that. And of course, Cy was bringing Blackpool as well, so we were all carrying these Illuminous.
I love that Jason puts you was a bit drunk, Nick. Mate, I was not the only one who was a bit drunk, I'm going to say, because I do remember all of us sat outside in the, just adjacent to the hotel. There's like a grassy area with like park benches on. And I do remember most of us being out there at some point with sparklers, glow sticks, drinking whiskey and smoking cigars. So I was certainly not the only person who was well lubricated that weekend.
It was cold then as well. So,
so cold. It was so cold. But no, it was a lovely weekend. DCB June is an absolute pleasure to speak to. She's lovely. In fact, there was not one person who wasn't lovely to speak to this weekend. You know, when we all come together, we just all seem to gel, and it's really nice to see. You can probably see from that picture at the end, that wasn't even everybody. I think you weren't even in that picture, were you, Dave?
The big one at the end. No, I wasn't. I wasn't in that one. Nor was Alan, as Alan pointed out, he wasn't in there too.
But the best thing about that picture gallery I just put together, and if you are listening to this on Spotify, this is why I'd encourage you to come over to the Action Popcast channel and check out the live stream on replay. I'll try and catch us live, because we do show slides and we do show videos and things through this. So if you want to see the full effect of the show and you want to look at how handsome me and Monkeyboy are and how legendary Dave is, please do come along and check out the the video.
There is someone in the community that I haven't met yet.
Who haven't you met yet?
It's one of us three, and it's not me.
Yes.
So that narrows it down to one of two.
I keep threatening that I'm going to show up on that person's doorstep this summer.
I would love Monkeyboy to attend one of these fairs one day.
It's right. Dave will vouch for me here. I know we video called you.
Fun.
I know we video
yes,
called
you did.
you.
Yeah. That's
honestly,
it was a very nice surprise to see everyone.
Your name came up constantly all weekend, and not in a bad way, in a good way.
Oh.
Everyone was asking, "Where's Monkeyboy?" We.
Oh, well, that's very kind.
Your presence was missed, but
I would have liked to have been there. I would have liked to. Oh God,
Robert.
Oh God.
So Robert, sod off a minute, Robert. Let your master finish what he's saying. Just off you pop. Sorry, Dave. You were saying he's so rude, that monkey.
Yeah, I mean, no, I would have liked to have. I would have liked to have gone. The difficulty is I have massive anxiety when travelling, and also I assume that's probably the biggest toy show in the UK. And I think I would just find it so overwhelming to actually go to the show itself. The only reason I'd want to be there is to see everyone. You know, that would be the main reason. But unfortunately, because of my anxiety traveling, it just wasn't something I was able to do on this occasion. But who knows? Maybe in the future.
We will find an excuse to get up to you if not.
Yeah,
I'm going to get up to you. But, you know, it's one of them, isn't it? We will.
Oh, God's sake, Robert.
Every week, mate. Every week. Every show. What, Robert? What? VTR. Robert. Hello, Robert the Monkey. Everyone, Robert the Monkey.
Yeah,
hello, Robert the Monkey. He's been itching.
I think he's got a question for Dave, I think. Is that what you said?
He hasn't shut up about it all week. It's just in voice notes. Just, yes, Robert, we'll let you speak to VTR. To Dave, would you mind taking a question from Rob? I mean, he's literally like, he's been... Robert, let us speak, mate. This is ridiculous.
Sure. Please,
right now, Robert, let Dave you right. Do you want to start again, Robert? Right, Robert, go for it.
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
That's a pretty good question. That is a good question.
That's not a bad question. I wish I'd thought
Dave. Yeah, over to you, Dave.
It wasn't.
Robert, can you ask the question again? I don't think Dave understood it.
Oh God!
I think that's a reasonable. That's a reasonable.
Yeah, I don't think he's asking too much of you. To be fair, Dave, I think most people would like to hear the answer.
I think.
I'd like to know what.
I have a question. Well, I don't want to offend Robert. Can he be called Bob, or does he not like that?
No. He bit Monkeyboy last time he called him Bob.
So I don't want to offend Robert, but I don't actually understand monkey language.
Oh, you're
I
joking.
mean, he's speaking. Oh, Robert.
The
problem is Robert has a problem if we speak on his behalf. That's the problem. Like if we speak for him, if we translate for him, he always gets all like, you know, he just goes absolutely nuts when we do. No, Robert, we're not. You're gonna have to pop it in an email to Dave, okay?
Oh God! I think he's asking me. Yeah, I think he's asking me what is my favourite fruit.
Yes. There we go. It was very easy.
Oh, well done.
And it's obviously the banana.
Oh.
Oh well done.
Well, that
Excellent.
was- So
Are you happy with that, Robert?
I think he's. Right, okay. Off you go, Robert.
I think I've got
Bye-bye.
a mixed
Go on,
results now
Robert.
mentioning
Down you go, mate.
But
Down you go, mate.
leave the
Down you
toaster
go.
alone, Robert.
Right, there we go.
Oh god.
Sorry about that, Dave. He's literally all week he's been hounding us. I just keep getting these little voice notes. But he's he wants to be an independent monkey. He doesn't like it if we speak for him. He's
I'm all
quite
for independent monkeys.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that. See, his language isn't as hard to understand as you'd think. I mean, you got it. I knew you'd get it. He doesn't ask the most intense questions. He's quite.
I kind of yeah. I guess my level is pigeon monkey. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So. Oh, I just got to say a quick hello to Shabby Geek for showing up. Thank you for popping along, sir. Thank you for having me on Tub Thumpers the other night. That was absolutely epic to get on there and chat
Hello,
to
chaps.
everyone and whatnot. Adam Real Toy Dude does have a question. It's can I ask what part of the world Robert is from? Because I've not seen a lime green monkey.
He's from Chernobyl.
He...
Yeah. Sorry, that shouldn't have made me laugh as much as it did. But, truth is, we don't really know. Robert, no. No. Right, he's given you your answer, Adam. Now off your pop, Robert, off your pop. Yeah, he's answered you. So there's not. I think you're right there, Dave.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's just one of those. But
it's just the combination of some gin, late night, and a monkey.
you never know what you're going to get. I think it's fair to say we're towards the close of the show now, and I'm just going to have a quick flick through to see if anyone's asked any other questions. I do want to say an absolutely massive thank you to everyone who's been here tonight. Sorry we don't get through all the comments. It's when there's three of it. When we're fumbling through this, it can be difficult. But we see the comments and massive thanks from us for always coming along and supporting.
Yeah,
I feel it's important.
Thanks to everyone that's joined us tonight. Thank you so much.
It's been great
Really
to see you. Thank you. Thank you to you, Dave, for agreeing to come along. And we're going to give you this moment now to promote your show, promote your channel, anything you want to promote, whatever you like. You can say what you want. You can give a speech for world peace if you like, as long as you keep it under 5 minutes. We're absolutely good.
What am I going to say?
Tell us where we can find you.
Well, you can find me on everywhere, all the socials on Vintage Toy Rush. Restorations, toy hunts. Should be an Echo Base video coming up soon because that's where I was today.
Cool.
Yeah, and I've loved being on the show. I've said to both of you, I love this show. It's kind of a relaxed late night Saturday event, talking about stuff that most people don't dare venture into, and it's great and a great host. So I've loved being on tonight.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thanks for inviting me on.
It's been...
As your first official
no
guest.
problem.
Although Robert, I think Robert may have been the first actual real guest.
No. The honor is all yours, sir.
Yeah.
The honor is all yours, and the pleasure was all
Robert
ours.
First. Robert
You've got to
first.
understand, in the first episode, if people would have voted that they didn't like the show, Robert was going to literally get shot.
He was going to take one in a canister, wasn't he? Yeah. So
yeah, Robert was, and then consequently he went around and started making love to household appliances due to like the the fallout and the trauma. We've had a rough time with Robert recently, but we think he's on the mend now. Anyway,
He just needs some attention. That's all.
Yeah, just I wish it wasn't the attention of Monkeyboys toaster. That cost him bloody 50 quid to replace. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So, but you've been an absolute brilliant guest, Dave, and thank you for agreeing to come on. I know we're a couple of random pair of weirdos, but we do love doing this, and we you know, we're not going to have guests on every week, but you know, when we do, we like Monkeyboy said earlier, we want to raise the tide to raise the ship, and we believe that you we believe that you've done that for us. It's only fair to say. I've also got to hand it over to Monkeyboy now and say, Monkeyboy, where can we find you, and what have you got anything coming up in the next couple of days or weeks or months or years or whenever?
Well, there's another video on Monkeyboys Toys this Sunday as normal. Skeletor has got his Q&A session this week again. So if people want to check that out, they can do so. You can find a link to Skeletor's channel in the video description on any of my videos on Monkeyboys Toys. But yeah, that's about it really. I'd just like to say a big thank you to Dave for joining us this evening. It's been a real pleasure to speak with you, Dave. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
We really appreciate your time and your interest. Thank you so much, man.
It's been brilliant, and honestly, Monkeyboy has not been sleeping through you talking. I promise. He's just. There you go.
We said before, I have the voice to send people to sleep.
And of course, on the final sign off, I'm Nick APD. This is the Action Popcast, the channel. This show is live, moderately entertaining. I will be back in 2 weeks time with Kim Gonnick with our next episode of the Action Popcast. The subject will be announced imminently. It's going to be a live episode, which is not something we normally do. So I hope to see some of you in the chat. We're on all the usual socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever it's called. And you know, if you're coming in on the end of the stream and you want to catch up, please feel free to catch up on the show. You've all been absolute pleasure in the chat this evening. You've been brilliant. Everyone's so supportive of the channel. Thank you again to Dave. And I think it's only appropriate now to say, all three of us, let's wave really awkwardly and say bye while I press the end the stream button and it takes ages to end. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye. Keep waving. Bye.